Hello, hello? Hello? Anybody there?
Hello.
Hello?
I'm here.
Thank you for joining me, Travis.
You're welcome.
Welcome back to the least trusted name in news. It is, of course, The System is Down, where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, and we're live. We are live, and we're going to find out why here in just a moment. But before we do, let's give people a few minutes more to trickle in here and just enjoy some fun intro stuff together, all right? Let's, ladies and gentlemen, together, let's get kicked off of YouTube together. Let's get weird.
Well, I'm sitting across from Putin, who I know. He knows who I am. I know who he is. He knows I mean what I say and can do what I say.
You've been very open about your problems with addiction. This is personal for you. Listen, I've dealt with it, but this is personal for you.
Yes, Biden is hiding people and sucking the blood of children and no, I'm serious. Now, you may not like me, and that's your right. Look, you're 5 years old, you're 9 years old. You're beginning to see some of the, and by Democrats as well, sort of the venom sort of leak out of a lot of it. If you have a child under the age of 7, you get $300 a month. What are you supposed to say? Not me, that's against the law. I'm being deadly earnest. What can a kid say?
Count the number of jelly beans in the jar.
My family's been engaged in that business. But the folks is, and lastly...
Well, let me talk to you about that.
Well, let me finish my answer, because I'll tell you what I do. Children at ages 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, they in fact all have different makeups. They're developing. It's just nothing that just happened yesterday, and they said, well, let's take a shot on this. I'm not being solicitous because I like to walk out of my robe and go in. No, I'm not. You think I'm joking? I'm not. You know what I mean? And so it's just a, it is very hard to get comfortable like I would ordinarily be. And you got a great dog there, kid.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he really means that.
Half of Trump supporters do what I call activist support.
I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth!
I remember that with that smoke. We are still here!
We have to say yes to socialism.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. But I'll tell you what you are in. You're in this club, this nice little cult we've got going on here called The System is Down. Welcome back to the show. I am joined once again, and as always, whenever he feels like it, by the one and only Travis Harms. Travis, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, man.
You can't play two sound effects at once? Really? Okay, well, that's a good way to cut out of the music anyway. Hi, guys. We are live. So you'll get all the nit, the grit, no edits, no cleanups, no nothing. Everything is live. I'm just kidding. That's how we always do it, actually. Yeah. We don't edit anything. Because why? This is the human experience and the human condition. Us all just looking out our window, watching the world burn, and sharing a good old-fashioned laugh at it together. This is the least trusted name in news. It is the anti-news. I suppose we can call it that again. We can call it anti-news live when we do it live, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. My names are arbitrary. But today's show, if you're not familiar, is brought to you in part by you. All you fine folks in the Downers Club, people like Pavlok, Chance, Serrato, Brian Johnson, Anthony Peebles, Carolina B, Lincoln Stack, Jack Casey, Rick Duran, Javari, Andrew Sitchling, Mark Clare, Kyle Evans, Paul Brandenburg, Craig DeCosta, Ryan Mortensen, Joe Kabinski, Anthony Meyer, Mitchell Caswell, Derek Evans, Stephen Hartman, Tim Brown, Aaron Stute, Howie Snowden, Nathan Sipes, Dave something, Justin something, and John Barnhouse. Hey, guys, if you want to get your name on that list and you want to be just as cool as all those people that got their names read and the ones that didn't, you can go join the Downers Club by going to patreon.com/The System Is Down and getting more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content bonus episodes of the show every single week at patreon.com/The System Is Down.
Take a breath, man.
And the Downers Club members, also, you can go to thesystemisdown.tv, the brand new website, and you can watch all the bonus shows now as well and join the community at patreon.com/The System Is Down. Today's show is also sponsored by Free Ounce of Kratom, which is not centered. There we go. Free Ounce of Kratom, my brave botanicals. If you don't know about Kratom by now, that's fine. You probably just don't need to. Hey, that's still not centered. Whatever. It's go to freeounceofkratom.com and sign up for the Downers Club. Man, my brain's not working yet.
It's okay.
Kratom is what is going to make me start functioning more properly. If you would like to also function more properly, go to freeounceofkratom.com and get a free ounce of Kratom, or get 5% off all your products, all your order. That includes Delta 8 THC, weed delivered to your door, colloidal silver, CBD, and all sorts of fun natural things at mybravebotanicals.com. It is also sponsored by The Royal Green, which is Jack Casey's book about royalness and greenness and civil wars in the future and kind of in the past, vintage future. I don't know what it's about because I haven't read it. But Jack Casey is an awesome guy who has the balls to sponsor such a show as this one. So do go give him a check out and find out what the book is actually about by going to theroyalgreen.com. That is theroyalgreen.com, theroyalgreen.com. All right. Now, we are here to talk about some news. Travis?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Not much. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm dressed in my most formal attire, and I can see you are certainly dressed in your most formal attire as well.
Of course.
Yes.
Totally.
I didn't really tell you the reason why. The reason why is because we're starting to take ourselves more serious and professionally around here. We are a legit source of information now. We are influencers. Almost, not quite. Not quite. So the first story is not the good news. We'll get to that in a second. The first story is why we are dressed so fancily and live streaming. It's because from the NewYorkTimes.com, so you know it's legit. To fight vaccine lies, authorities recruit an influencer army. So what I am looking to do is find out how I can join the influencer army. And why don't you have a camera here?
I don't know.
New camera.
People don't want to see me anyway. I am an eyesore.
Boom. There you are. There you are. Hey. So, joining up with the influencer army as we are. What is this all about? The White House has teamed up with TikTok stars. Dang it. I didn't read even that far. With TikTok stars, while some states are paying local micro-influencers for pro-vaccine campaigns. So basically, people who say things on the internet that people listen to are being paid to tell you to get your vaccine.
Of course.
Which is called purchased propaganda, in my opinion. They're paying you to sell their product. This is advertising space, with your tax dollars paying for advertising space on TikTokers. Now, what I thought was the most interesting about this is the credentials to get into the influencer army, which is, of course, my one and only goal now. As soon as I heard about this, I was like, how do I get to the level where I can make $1,000 a month off of selling vaccines to children? Being a drug dealer, essentially. Yeah. Even more so than I already am. To reach these young people, the White House has enlisted an eclectic army of more than 50 Twitch streamers, YouTubers. Yes, we made the cut. That's why I have to hang in there on YouTube. YouTubers, and I lost my spot.
That's okay.
And I lost my spot. YouTubers, TikTokers, and the 18-year-old pop star Olivia Rodrigo.
Don't know that.
Why is that one singled out?
I don't know. They want you to click on it, of course.
Yeah, 50 Twitch streamers, YouTubers, TikTokers, and this one person.
What happens when you click on it?
We're finding out right now.
I bet it says, go get vaccinated.
The story behind Olivia Rodrigo's pink power suit. I take it back. I don't care. So those with 5,000 to 100,000 followers, up to $1,000 a month to promote COVID-19 vaccines to their fans. Now, what is important about this is that even though, despite YouTube trying their damnedest to not let me do anything on their platform, we still have over 4,500 followers on YouTube. And it doesn't matter that apparently none of them get notified and none of them see my videos and none of them click on it. We have like a 1% click average on our 4,500 followers. But if you guys hearing this can go, I'm not normally one to support people going and watching my things on YouTube because I hate them because they hate me. But they, if you go there right now, and we can get those numbers up, just 500 more will get us to that 5,000 mark, where we can join the influencer army for Joe Biden. Are they? Is there a draft? I wonder for this influencer army. Maybe. Do they force people to be successful influencers? Like YouTube creates these bot children, and they give them an automatic 5,000 followers and pay them $1,000 a month. They buy these children from their parents, and then they give them YouTube accounts to become influencers.
That's a possibility.
Huh? You thinking what I'm thinking? I'm saying we buy some kids. That's what I'm saying. We need some army.
What's top price for kids now?
You'd have to ask Joe Biden. Anyway, moving on to the good news of the day. Of course, we do typically like to open. I suppose that could be the good news because we just found out that we are almost eligible to join the army of influencers. But the real good news today, the actual good news, is Joey Joridson, former drummer of Slipknot, dies at 46.
That's good news.
It's like, I don't know what to do with this one.
What'd you get me into?
What do you think, Travis?
That's sad to me, man. That sucks. He's one of I mean,
I am joking.
I know.
Okay?
I'm
joking.
I know you are.
This is sad.
I was waiting for the punchline.
There isn't one. That's mostly the punchline. But yeah, he did die, and I found out about it. He died probably like right after we recorded last week, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I found out about it like 4 days later, and I texted you, and you're like, "Wow, this is old news." Where did you find out about it? Where do you get your news from? I'm curious.
Honestly, Facebook is pretty on top of it.
Fucking boomers that don't get kicked off of Facebook. Only boomers stay on Facebook at this point.
Oh.
Yeah, we're live, but I'm still going to respond to texts from my children because I am still a man with a life. And we can't pause anymore. So if I randomly cut to videos for no reason, just know that there was an emergency.
That's what happened.
But Joey Joridson died, and apparently he died of, like, he had this, like, neurological disease that he had been suffering with, and that's apparently why he was kicked out of Slipknot as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because his legs weren't working.
That sucks.
They like carried him out on stage for the last couple shows, but they never really talked about why or anything.
Oh, was that bad, huh? How was he able to drum then?
I don't know. Also, it's really confusing because this information, to my understanding, is kind of coming out now. They're like, see, that's why we kicked him out of the band, or that's why he left the band. But if you go back a ways, there was a post that Joey Joridson made where he was talking about how he did not leave Slipknot by choice, and he doesn't approve the decision, blah, blah, blah. So it's a little strange that that's not being addressed, but maybe it was like they saw him going downhill. I heard that they thought that he was like on drugs or something.
I mean,
they were concerned. What?
Who isn't anymore, though?
Especially who isn't on drugs?
Yes. Especially if you're a musician, come on.
A magician?
A musician, it doesn't matter.
Magicians got to stay doped up so they can perform their little magic tricks. But
that's why it's magic.
That's right. So, yeah, they thought that he was on drugs, even though he didn't know that he had this disorder or whatever, and they kicked him out. So apparently, I guess that narrative still does make sense. Like he was pissed off because he still didn't know, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, just sad news, actually, for the good news, because, he wasn't really doing all that much because of his disorder. He had started, like, 3 bands, and none of them really did much of anything. I think one of them did 2 albums before he died, but, yeah, it seemed like a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a fan of some of their stuff, some of their early stuff. As an angry Midwestern boy, how about you, Travis?
Oh, dude, when I first experienced them, I was frightened. I was like,
Experienced them.
I say experience.
You know, it's probably there's something special about the music when you feel like when you first encountered it, it was an experience, and you have to refer to it as such.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were frightening. I was young, and when I saw them play, I was like, who and what and why? But years went by, and then I was like, wow, these guys are great.
Who and what and why and wow. Yes. All the W's.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, pour one out for your homie. That's not what we're here to talk about, though. But
plus, they're close guys. Des Moines, right? From
yeah,
Des Moines, so.
yeah. That's why I said Midwestern.
Yeah.
Us cowfolk got to stick together, especially when we're standing against the government tyranny and putting drugs in kids. So moving right along, we've got a couple just to breeze through here. In addition to that, before we get into the main topics of discussion from newsbreak.com, so you know it's legit. 2020, Tokyo Olympics. Laurel Hubbard fails to medal after becoming first openly trans woman to compete in games. Travis, your thoughts?
That's awesome.
I didn't choose the picture, okay? That is beautiful right there.
It is. It's great. No, that's awesome. Good kudos to that, man.
Fails to medal after becoming first openly trans.
I mean,
I'm saying she failed miserably.
She failed completely?
Yeah, she got they got their ass handed to them by other women.
But at least she's, participating and she's competing. So that's good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think positive about everything anymore.
It's really hard. And I don't mean just because of this picture, if you get my drift. Really hard.
Yeah, I
get it.
I get it.
Do you get it?
I think so.
Yeah. She's beautiful. Okay. Now I want to see a picture of this person when they're dolled up in their Sunday best before I make my judgments on this. But if you're not going to try at all,
that's what you get.
I mean, if you're not going to try to look like a woman of any kind, if you're just going to be a guy with a shaved face and then try and compete against women, you better at least fucking be able to kick their ass.
Right, at least.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No judgment, but just kick their ass. As a man, of course, it is. You're living every man's dream right now. The ability, the justification, go out and kick the shit out of women. So,
fair enough.
I don't know about that one. No, if you are, I think that this is ridiculous. I think that when it comes to the sports stuff, I think it's pretty obvious that we're all kind of just pretending. Because if you're not allowed to take like steroids and things that enhance
any drugs at all, like that one girl.
Why are you allowed to take hormones? Like if a girl is transitioning to a boy and she takes testosterone, is she still allowed to compete against?
I don't know. Seems like a dirty area.
I don't know. It's just I think that sports are dumb in general, so I don't frankly care. And it's at least not a boxing match. But just know that this is.
Wait for it.
Oh, it's happened.
Oh,
there was a woman who got her head collapsed by a former dude in a skirt who was in MMA or something like that.
That's crazy.
Super legit news sourcing. That's how we get the 400 or 4,500 subscribers on this channel, guys. Welcome to The System Is Down. Yeah. So, yeah, this person was cleared to compete, and definitely just like a big. I would say the nicest way I can put this is at least before the transition, this was a pretty big dude.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty big dude.
Yeah,
or it was.
Yeah,
and still lost in the Olympics. So good, because
doesn't
you
matter.
should. Now listen to the sounds that come out of this woman.
Oh, perfect.
Wait for it. Man, it's beautiful. That's a woman. That's definitely a woman. I don't know what you bigots are thinking, but that's a woman right there.
Wow. Well, at least the testosterone's working.
Well, it's not.
No, it's
like,
not right
that's
at
a
all.
man transitioning to a woman. I kind of got that wrong. So it's if this person is taking like female hormones, that's science. If this person is taking something, estrogen, that's the one,
There you go. Yeah.
to become more effeminate, I suppose that wouldn't help the case, but still, I don't know, man. Like, there is no requirement either that you are taking estrogen as a man transitioning to a woman. Like, you could say you're a man transitioning to a woman, or you could say you were formerly a man, now a woman, and not be taking estrogen either. So you could just be a dude working out, bodybuilder guy who couldn't beat men. And
But it's fair, though. I mean, as long as you're taking that hormone, you can be
I don't know.
doing it, I guess.
I disagree. I say let's just lump all sports into one giant sport with all the people and all the things. Just like
Just go at it.
We'll make an entire city that's like Purge Town, and all the most fit athletes win, and everybody else dies, and that person gets to lead the country. That's how we get our president too, because that's clearly not that system's not working the way it was designed to either. So just lump them together, and make them both less insufferable. All right, moving on. Let's see. Oh,
Dan Samont's for president.
that's right. Let's see. Make positive. Okay, just making sure this is the right one before I switch over to this. But did you hear? We are here first and foremost after the other things to talk about Matt Damon. Did you hear about Matt Damon this week, Travis?
To be honest, I saw some, stuff going on Facebook, but I did not look into it. Did not research it. I think he maybe said something or apologized or something like that. I'm not aware.
For what? Do you know? Any idea?
I think he said some bad words or something.
Like what?
The
What-
F word, maybe?
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you say, Travis?
That bad word.
No, the bad one. Not the bad one. Not the bad one. Just the bad one. The one that wasn't bad before and is bad now. Not fuck, which was bad and now isn't bad. It's the reverse. They've switched places on the F word. It's great. Progress. So he said the naughty F word. But if you thought that my title was anything other than Matt Damon's foggy apology, then that's on you, and you're a bigot. All right. So from Bossip.com, so you know it's legit. Make Boston proud. Matt Damon admits he only stopped using homophobic f-slur a few months ago. Yes. Now,
F-slur.
Yeah, f-slur. That's how they differentiate from people who still think the other F word is an F word and should be considered an F
Oh,
word.
I got you now. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. The word that we would never, ever say on this show. Ever. Never would. Never will. Definitely won't do it. I'm not going to slip up and say it. Okay.
Pretty sure I said that last time.
So over the past couple of weeks, Matt Damon interviews have served as a way for fans to learn. Let me blow this up. Hold on. We build this shit up. Way for fans to learn more about his friend Ben Affleck and his. Did people not know about Ben Affleck? Is Ben Affleck a new actor?
No, not at all.
Interviews have served as a way for fans to learn more about his friend Ben Affleck and his rekindled relationship with Jennifer Lopez. Now we're actually learning more about Matt Damon, and though the results of this study aren't surprising, the actor is facing some much-deserved backlash. For some unknown reason, Damon thought it was a good idea to bring up his own bigotry, unprovoked, in a recent interview with the Sunday Times. It was here that the actor revealed he only recently stopped using a homophobic slur after one of his daughters wrote him a long letter explaining how dangerous that word is. Now I want to see the letter, and I want to hear her reasonings for how it's dangerous to say that word. that we won't say because we're on YouTube Live here. We would never say that word. Quote, the word that my daughter calls the f-slur for a homosexual was commonly used when I was a kid with a different application, the actor said. I made a joke months ago and got a treatise from my daughter. I don't know. We're stupid. Deal with it. She left the table. I said, come on. That's a joke. He sounds like Joe Biden.
I'm just joking.
Come on.
I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. Yeah. Bad reference. I say it in the middle of... I say it in the movie Stuck on You, he continued, referencing the 2003 film about two conjoined twins. She went to her room and wrote a very long, beautiful treatise? I don't know, we're stupid. On how that word is dangerous. I said, I retire the f-slur, I understood. He's claiming that he made the declaration, I retire the f-slur. Like it was so big in his vernacular, and he said it so often that he had to retire it. I don't say it enough that I would feel the need to make an announcement if I stopped saying it.
Right.
It seems like he probably said it a lot.
I mean, just again, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago or a month or so back. It's just a word. Word is a word, depending on the meaning behind it.
And we would never say it.
Nope.
No. Wow, what a beautiful revelation for a 50-year-old man in the year 2021. Of course, this stunning moment of maturity, Damon describes his fans assuming the actor was still frequently saying the f-slur. Of course they did, because it certainly sounds like he was. If she had to bring it up recently and tell him to stop saying it, it seems like he was still using that word we would never say. Never thinking anything of it until an actual child brought it to his attention. Now, what do you think happened? Do you think because Matt Damon said he's not going to use the f-slur anymore, do you think that everybody's like, well, that's very good of you. Good job. We're glad that you've changed your evil ways and you're going to do better.
Do
you think that's what happened, Travis?
Probably not.
What do you think happened?
I'm sure people were just like, it doesn't matter what you do or apologize. You're still trash.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how it goes, because that's usually how everything goes.
Yeah. He's getting in trouble for okay. So let me break this down a bit. He used to do something wrong. Let's say he used to leave the toilet seat up and now he doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's make this simpler. He used to leave the toilet seat up, now he doesn't. Nobody knew that he was leaving the toilet seat up that whole time. And then he stopped leaving the toilet seat up, didn't tell anybody. Then a few weeks later, in an interview, he's feeling good about it. He's feeling good about himself and his new decisions in life. And he's like, I just wanted y'all to know, I don't leave the toilet seat up anymore. And they're like, wait, you left the toilet seat up? We're going to cancel you for having ever left the toilet seat up. Even though you're saying it's the wrong thing to leave the toilet seat up now and you're never going to leave the toilet seat up again, we're going to cancel you because you thought it once.
Really
did
messed up. It's actually kind of stupid in my opinion, but that's how the world works.
It's fucking retarded, okay? Which is another word I would never say. But I do have some clips. One of them is, did you hear what Alec Baldwin said about the Matt Damon incident?
No,
because they're like friends or something, or acquaintances, and he came out speaking about it, and he was talking about, let me see, Alec Baldwin comments on the Matt Damon f-slur incident and how we can work together to end violence and make the world a better place. Now let's watch this clip together of Alec Baldwin's response.
We are here to usher in a new era without violence. By following the rules of the Film Actors Guild, the world can become a better place that handles dangerous people with talk and reasoning. That is the fag way.
Matt Damon.
One day you will all look at the world us actors created and say, wow, good going, fag.
Matt Damon.
You really made the world a better place, didn't you, fag?
Matt Damon!
Say hello to our new partner.
Matt Damon!
I'm glad you all agree. Good going, fag.
That was
telling.
Yeah.
I'd say telling.
Yeah, that was a good speech.
Yeah. I'm moved. I am moved to tears of some sort. So there's that. Now, after all that went down, do you think that Matt Damon said, "You guys are right. I should have never said the F-slur, and I was wrong to do so"?
I'm sure he tried.
What he should have said was, "Shut up, fags." No, TMZ reports, it's legit. I've never called anyone homophobic F-word. Never. He has never called anyone homophobic F-word. That is... Didn't he just say he did in a movie?
Yeah.
Didn't he just say that he had to retire it? Why do you have to retire a word that you've never said before?
Yeah, I don't... That's funny, though.
So, Matt Damon says he didn't need to retire the homophobic F word after all, because he says he never used it in the first place. This is where we're at now. You are punishing people for making the right choice, the nice, kind, happy choice. You're punishing them for that. He could have just kept calling y'all fags under his breath behind the scenes, and you never would have known.
Right.
The actor just tried to dig out from under an interview where he was quoted as saying he only recently stopped using the F word after his own daughter checked him hard. Matt attempted to clear the air Monday, saying the quote from his interview. Who cares? Jump down to it. Okay, maybe I should have read that. The quote from his interview with the Sunday Times was him recalling a discussion he had with his daughter where he tried explaining lots of progress has been made since he was a young kid. Growing up in Boston, the F-slur was used on the streets, blah, blah, blah. MD told Variety, it's Matt Damon. I guess they know him really personally.
Yes.
Yeah, my bro, MD. MD dog. So he says, I have never called anyone... that word with a T on the end. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to assume what he said because they edited it out. In my personal life, and this conversation with my daughter was not a personal awakening. I do not use slurs of any kind. We're not asking if you do. We're asking if you did. Not that I care. I think that this is stupid.
Yes.
I think all of this is stupid. I'm certainly not on the side of the people who are freaking out because he said a word and then apologized for it, which he definitely has said.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly. But his apology is pretty weak as shit too. It's pretty gay, I'd say. I have no problem with the gays. I'm sure y'all are great. Were you waiting for a punchline? Well, you're a bigot if you were waiting for a punchline to that, Travis. But I do have another clip about this. So, his daughter is kind of the reason why this all came out. I mean, it's not her fault, but, it's kind of leaked because of a conversation he had with her, so I suppose we could blame her to some degree. So this next clip is footage of Matt Damon I think he's on a movie set or something. He's got like a prosthetic mustache or something like that. He's got a fake mustache, which he's done on other sets before, like The Informant. So he's wearing a fake mustache, and he's on this set, and there's a crowd of people there as well. This is just minutes after the news broke about his history with the F-slur. So here's that. Let's watch together.
I can't believe you did this to me! Were you happy?
I'm not! It was supposed to be a joke! I mean, it's still kind of funny, but it's not!
I have nothing left! Nothing! I've been reduced to rubble! Don't you know I would never say the word f***? I would never ever say that! Ever!
Come on, let's go! These people are about to pull you apart!
I'm sorry! Get your hands off him, you bastard!
Don't you know I would never say f***? Move!
So
that's pretty much how it went down.
Yeah. Anyway, so that happened. I don't know. It's just dumb. And the main reason why it's dumb is because when these words are used and weaponized, like the word itself does not cause damage to people. It doesn't harm people. They can stop listening. They don't have to listen to Matt Damon say fag if they don't want to, or Alec Baldwin, or Matt Stone, or Trey Parker, or me. They don't have to listen to it, and I don't use that word derogatorily against gay people. I use it as a joke because it's uncomfortably hilarious. And if we're still on YouTube, I will continue as long as I can.
I think we're still good.
Yeah. Okay, so the crackdown on speech in general, the crackdown, like, obviously it's not that big a deal. People aren't being arrested for saying the f-slur or anything like that. They're not even being arrested for saying the n-slur, but people are pushing in that direction. Like, people are pushing for, this is so unacceptable, your career needs to go up in flames. Like, the fact that Matt Damon has ever said it is enough that he should not be allowed to feed his family. Like, if you think about where this cancel culture stuff goes to, it's not just, oh, they got kicked off of Twitter, or they got, kicked out of a movie or something. That's their livelihood. That's their ability to make a living. And once you start attacking somebody's ability to make a living, that is an act of flagrant aggression that should be met in some way. I'm not sure what. What do you think the solution to cancel culture and this crackdown on speech is, Travis Harms?
I think it's ridiculous, honestly. It's like, if you have a role in a movie and your line is to say something like that, like, are you being judged because you're saying that in a line of a movie, or are they just really talking about...
We're getting there. I don't think we're quite to that point yet. Like, it makes me want, like, there are strange lines. Like, there's people who are getting removed from parts because they're not black or trans or something that is being represented in that part. Like, straight, I almost said normal people. Straight people can't play these gay parts because that's, not giving the representation ability to the gay people or something like that.
Absolutely.
But if it goes to that extreme and you have to be the thing that you're playing in the movie, anybody who's ever played Hitler is literally Hitler now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Reality is completely, subjective, and whatever you feel like being angry about, that is whatever you think it is. What's his name? Who's the guy who played Hitler in Inglourious Bastards?
Ooh,
Do you know?
I do not know off the top of my head, at least. I can.
Was Matt Damon in that movie?
I think so, actually.
That's a
Inglorious.
accidental segue. But speaking of, you can look that up if you want to. It doesn't really matter.
No, Hitler was hang on, sorry.
We'll wait.
Usually
we're not live streaming or anything.
Why can't I find the cast? Oh, top cast. Man, oh, there he is. Martin.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I don't know him.
From USA Today, and this kind of plays into it too. From USAtoday.com, so it's legit. PayPal working with Anti-Defamation League on research funding for extremist groups. So PayPal and the ADL. Do you know what the Anti-Defamation League is, Travis?
Absolutely not.
They're supposed to prevent people from, defaming people or putting out slanderous claims about people that are infactual. But now the ADL spends a lot of their time trying to cancel people, which seems like the opposite of their stated initial goals. I could be wrong. But PayPal is working with this Anti-Defamation League, which we should just take the anti out of it at this point. PayPal is working with the DL on research into funding for extremist groups. So they're trying to stop people who are in extremist groups from getting funding through PayPal. Corrections and clarifications. This story has been corrected to clarify the research will focus on how extremist groups raise funds. Now, apparently there was something in this that raised controversy because they had to put out a correction. PayPal is collaborating with the Defamation League on research aimed at exploring how extremists or hate groups are funded. In a statement Monday, the DL said the research will look into how extremist or hate movements use financial platforms to fund their activities. Both that organization and PayPal say the results of their research will be shared within the financial industry, policymakers, and law enforcement. Quote, but identifying partners across sectors with common goals and complementary resources, we can make an even greater impact than any of us could do on our own. That's frightening.
Just a tad.
If we work together, we can make a greater impact on... Now, for those that aren't, to the red pill stage of realizing that this is all a sham and everything in the world is bullshit and the Matrix, when they say things like, I don't know, hate groups or extremist groups or whatever, libertarians have been lumped in with that by a former CIA director, whose name I don't recall, but he recently said on the news, Joe Biden's team is looking to crack down on all these extremist groups like the KKK, the terrorists, this, that, even libertarians. You know, people who disagree with government in general. We just don't. We want people to live peacefully on their own. That is extremist and dangerous. So we are to the point where PayPal is pushing. Like, I'm not saying PayPal is calling for the end of libertarianism or anything like that, but these like little steps, these like baby steps toward tyranny that we're on currently, where it's like extremist groups, libertarians equal extremist groups. If you disagree with government, you are an extremist now. If you don't believe that what happened on January 6th was 1,000 times worse than 9/11, then you are a terrorist Republican. So anything can label you a terrorist, and also financial companies are going to start cracking down on your ability to make a living and use their services. Travis, your thoughts?
The only thing is, if PayPal stops doing this, isn't there other platforms that people can use?
Yes.
So what's the point?
Now, let me give you a really obvious problem with that argument. Donald Trump got kicked off of Twitter. Donald Trump joined another platform. Do you know which one it was?
He made his own, didn't he? His own blog site with his website.
It didn't go great,
Not
but
at all.
Donald Trump was kicked off of Twitter. If he went on, let's say hypothetically, he didn't make his own and he went onto another platform like Minds, Gab, Parler, MeWe. How much do you know about these platforms, Travis?
I've never heard of them, actually.
And you are the common person.
Okay,
That is the problem.
Yep.
Now with this one, obviously it's easier. Like, it doesn't matter if people follow you on PayPal, so that doesn't matter that much. But it's not just like around the January 6th time. And of course, we have to talk about January 6th, the thing that initially got kicked me off of YouTube on our first live stream back on YouTube. But the January 6th thing, when that went down, Parler got shut down because some people were supposedly collaborating to make that insurrection, quote unquote, happen on January 6th. And Parler was using Amazon servers to host their thing. And Amazon said, you can't use our thing anymore. And all the app stores, like there's the Google app and the Apple, or the app stores. There's Google and there's Apple app stores. And that's pretty much
Google
it.
Play and Apple, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So even if you have your own thing, they can kick you off of the way of using that thing or getting that thing out.
Absolutely. So, I don't get it. I don't know.
Well, we're fucked. I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, moving on. Now, interestingly, since we're talking about the January 6th stuff, there was a new development with that as of a couple days ago.
Uh-oh.
Maybe 2 days ago.
Something came out? More?
In a way, from thehill.com, so you know it's legit. The fourth police officer who responded on January 6th attack dies by suicide.
Oh, my. He was so upset.
Yeah.
And just scarred.
The fourth.
The fourth one?
He's the fourth one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
To commit
They
suicide?
just keep killing themselves.
No, what?
They
Where's
are
the
so
autopsy
distraught.
reports on this stuff here?
They're so distraught by the selfie tour that they are freaking offing themselves left and right. We are supposed to believe.
A little odd. Who's this guy talking?
What?
Oh, never mind.
I don't think it's related.
Okay. Wow.
I don't even know if we need to read this. Just know, I can't believe we haven't heard about the first two. But I'm pretty sure they keep saying 6 people died on the 6th, or 4 or 5 or something.
That's kind of odd.
No, nobody died except one lady on the 6th. Let's be clear. This is my understanding, and I'm open to being proven wrong, but to my understanding, one whole person died on the 6th. Do you know what they died from?
COVID.
Getting shot in the face by a cop.
Oh yeah. Okay, I knew that. Yes.
So,
yeah.
What? For them to act like this is just a bunch of white supremacists. It's like, the cop shot her. Like, we should be agreeing that the cops should stop killing people.
That's insane, man.
But instead they spin it into this, oh, it's a terrorist attack and they cause so much damage. If you break if you break a window, it's bad.
Yeah.
In any context, even if there's consequences, no matter what. If you break a window on your house, you still have to pay for it. If you break a window on somebody else's house, you might get a slap on the wrist and you still have to pay for it. You break a window on the Capitol, where tax dollars pay for it already.
Yes.
And you go to prison for the rest of your life.
Or you're going to commit suicide.
Well, that's not the people who did it. That's the cops.
But
the
still,
police officers who responded are killing themselves.
Like, why are they doing this? Like, are they really committing suicide? Is that what they're saying?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes, YouTube, they absolutely are. It's shady to say the least, and I'm more than a little bit skeptical that 4 police officers were so overwhelmed with emotion that they just couldn't take it anymore.
That's a little extreme.
Yeah.
Why are they? First of all, if that's the case, why the hell are they cops? I'm sure they deal with something a little bit worse than that on a daily basis.
You hear that, cops? If you're such a weak ass bitch, you're gonna go killing yourself because you can't handle it. Then maybe don't be cops.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Not a good job for you.
Yeah.
Instead,
I'm feeling snarky this week, if you couldn't tell. So, yeah, I think that there's definitely something to be watching here. I'm not saying something is going on here. I'm saying keep an eye on the amount of people who died because of January 6th, not the amount of people who died on January 6th, mind you, but the amount of people who are dying, rotting away in prison. For walking into a building that they were let into.
Yeah.
Like, there are people in solitary confinement right now who don't even have a court date set. Like, some old lady could have just went in with the mob. Like, she got swept in. She's probably in solitary confinement right now, because I know a lot of them are, and they don't even have a court date set for a lot of these people.
That's so crazy, man. Why are they... ugh.
It's because they're creating this rift and this division within our country. If it's not so flagrantly obvious right now that, I mean, we've got Black Lives Matter versus, I don't know, everybody else. We've got so Black Lives Matter. We'll say the extreme angles here. Black Lives Matter and the guys the QAnon dudes at the Capitol riot. Okay, that's a division that is being tremendously blown out of proportion. So the Black Lives Matter people are burning shit down, and they're getting away with it, and they're being made out to be the heroes. These people broke into the Capitol, or walked into the Capitol. I shouldn't even say broke into, because the cops moved the barricade and let them walk in. And they went in, and they prayed in some places, and they had calm conversations. I need to find this footage, because I don't think anybody believes me when I keep saying this. I know there were some stupid idiots in there that were causing damage and doing stupid things that shouldn't have been there. But I feel like a lot of the people were just peacefully protesting, which is what they said Black Lives Matter was. So you've got that rift. Then you've got the anti-vax versus the vax rift, which they're pushing as hard as they possibly can. And you've got basically anybody. And I said this from the beginning of the show. The main thing I talked about in the beginning of this show was the people that you disagree with online are not your enemy. There are people that are your enemy that are trying to convince you that those people that you disagree with online are your enemy. Yes. If you actually had a conversation with somebody that you disagree with, you would probably agree with them on more than you disagree with them on, because people aren't shitholes. But if they get into government, it seems like, not saying all of them,
it's a different story.
It seems like the shithole to politician ratio, like the ratio just goes way up when you get into office and have that power. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it, like, they're playing it up as though it's as though everything is like a black versus white, or vax versus anti-vax, or Republican versus Democrat, or whatever, when the real obvious problem is the class issues. Like, we're talking about millionaires and billionaires who are making bank off of COVID while we all eat each other alive.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
It's very scary. I just got so much to say about it. It's stupid.
Do it. Say it all, Travis.
It's just crazy, man.
Don't hold back.
Even the COVID and how everyone's making money off it and how things are. It's insane.
Yes.
So most people, the average person, is just sitting back and just going with the flow.
Yeah.
But, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's the normal.
Yeah, but do not misunderstand me, YouTube, since we're back. I'm not saying vaccines are mandatory and we should be afraid of them because they're mandatory. I would never imply that vaccines are being forced onto people. From metalinjection.net, New York City, to require mandatory vaccines to attend concert. I get it. I'm not saying that they're mandatory in general or mandatory always. Obviously, that would be stupid, crazy conspiracy talk. From CNN.com, so you know it's legit. New York City will require vaccines for entry to restaurants and gym.
Oh, what's happening now?
I'm not saying that they're requiring vaccines for everything or that they're mandatory. I'm just pointing out a couple instances. Leading medical groups urge mandatory vaccinations for all healthcare workers. That's from NBCnews.com, so you know it's legit. Now, have we covered what? How much percentage of people do you think that covers? Concert goers, restaurants, gym members, and healthcare workers.
Out of the country? Or just...
Sure, just in any given population. Let's say you take a sample of 5,000 people. Okay. What percentage of those do you think fall within one of those categories? They like to eat at restaurants. They like to go to gyms. I'd say that covers about 80% on its own.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
I know that to go on a vacation or get on a cruise, we have to be vaccinated too as well. And soon, I'm sure they're going to start doing that to get on planes.
I'm sure they are. Which means if you want to book me for a flight for a project, do it now, because I'm not bending over and taking it for you or anybody else. But yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying vaccines are mandatory. I would never say that because that's obviously irrational and crazy. From taskandpurpose.com, so you know it's legit. Biden, mandatory COVID-19 vaccines for troops are coming. So you can't die for this country because you might get sick. You're not allowed to get sick if you're going to die.
Right.
Or you're not allowed to die if you're going to get sick doing it.
So what do these people feel right now? Like, say, for instance, what do these troops feel like? And is that something they agree with? Or
That's a good question. And I would advise anybody who is in that situation, if you're listening to this right now, to contact me. Because I don't know, maybe we should encourage people to call in and give a 1-minute spiel on what you've experienced. Let's do this. I'm making this up right now.
Okay, here we go.
If you have an experience of anybody requiring you to take a vaccine, or you can't work your job. Now, if you signed a contract with a business and they said in that contract that one day there will be a pandemic, and if that happens and there's a vaccine that's magically successful, then we're going to force you to do it. If you signed that contract, that's on you and you should just quit. But if you didn't sign a contract that said that and you got a job and then they bring up that you have to do certain medical practices in order to remain in that job, you should quit and then sue their ass off. But if you are in one of those situations, please contact us, and we will share your story. You can do so anonymously. Just you can write me at dan@tsidpod.com. Let me bring this up so you can see it down at the bottom. Or, better yet, call in, leave a 1-minute voicemail with your brief story. Maybe we'll share a bunch of them on the show. 309-716-3818. That is the Skype number. I hope it still works. I haven't checked it in a while, but try it and let me know. And maybe shoot me an email after you leave your voicemail and let me know that you left a voicemail so I know to go check it. But yeah, call in and we'll see how many of these we can rack up and how much they're not mandatory at this point. Mm-hmm. Because so far we've got restaurant goers, we've got concert goers, we've got gym goers, we've got everybody in healthcare, we've got everybody in the military, but I'm not saying they're mandatory because that would be ridiculous.
Right.
From Bloomberg Quick Take, this is Bloomberg.com, so you know it's legit. The rise of mandatory vaccines.
Well, there it is. It's on a rise.
The rise of mandatory vaccines. President Joe Biden said he'll require federal workers to prove they've been vaccinated. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? And moving on to New York City mandates proof of vaccination for many indoor settings. And outdoor settings, I'm pretty sure they're talking about as well. Just wearing masks always, forever, unless you get vaccinated, in which case you might be able to take the mask off, but you might not also. Now, if we can do a quick... I hate that I have to keep doing this, but if we can do a quick recap of the timeline here, COVID starts. Fauci comes out and says, you don't need to wear masks because they don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Heresy. in today's day. But time goes by, and he switches it to, you absolutely have to wear a mask immediately.
It helps.
Time goes by, he switches it to, you have to wear 2 masks. Time goes by, he says, well, he was called on that, and then he said, no, actually, you don't have to wear 2 masks, just, I don't know. And then a little more time goes by, and 2 masks again. And then a little more time goes by, and it was no masks if you've been vaccinated outdoors, and then no masks if you've been vaccinated indoors eventually. That was from Biden himself even.
Yep.
And now we are back to, if you are fully vaccinated, you might not have to wear a mask everywhere.
Right.
That's the level of guarantee. Now, how many people were? I want to know. Also, feel free to call in if you fall into this category. You got the vaccine because you thought that meant life would go back to normal, where you don't have to wear masks everywhere like an idiot, and you don't have to get shots. They're talking about 3-4 booster shots at this point too. Yeah. So, if you got the vaccine, you probably still have to wear masks, and you probably still have to get shots. Yep. So,
it's a
you'll
livelihood now.
Additionally, when you got the vaccine, let me know. Just write it down the moment that you realized that you had COVID again after you got the vaccine. Because it's happening an awful lot and nobody's really talking about it.
Yeah.
People getting that, or maybe not getting COVID again, but getting COVID for the first time after they've already been vaccinated. I know several people who have had this situation.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't protect you from COVID and it doesn't stop you from spreading COVID,
why are we getting it?
What is the point exactly?
To make you feel better, maybe?
It's not working. It's not working.
To make people feel that the world's getting better? I don't know.
So playing pretend. As Rand Paul said, it's all theater. It's all virtue signaling to help you feel like you're doing the right thing. I'm curious because I don't remember if you were here when I talked about it, but you know who David Hogg is? No. The little shit that sadly survived the Parkland shooting.
Oh, yeah.
That's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm really glad he's doing the Lord's work ever since then of trying to get guns out of people's hands because they're evil. But David Hogg came out and said something when all this mask shit was going on, or when after Joe Biden said you don't have to wear masks anymore, David Hogg came out because he has to have something to say about everything, and he said, I still want to wear my mask because I don't want people to think that I'm a conservative. He's like, I'm fully vaccinated, but I don't, imagine being that deranged and that fucking retarded that you're like, Donald Trump is so evil that I would rather wear this mask and suffocate than have people think that I'm a Republican.
Yeah,
he's gone, guys.
Yeah. What's the point?
People overuse the phrase Trump derangement syndrome. These people's brains were literally broken by Donald Trump. They're still scared of him, and he's not even allowed anywhere.
Yeah, I haven't even heard from him.
Exactly.
What is he doing?
You have to go looking for it if you even want to know what the former president of the United States has to say. How bizarre is that?
It's very bizarre.
Yeah. So I said to David Hogg on Twitter, I asked him if he didn't respond, but I asked him if you knew definitively that a MAGA mask would stop the spread of COVID, like wearing a Donald Trump mask, would you wear it? And I wonder if some of these people would. I think some brains explode if you ask them that question. If the only mask available was MAGA masks, would you still wear them? Or do you hate grandma?
Sounds cool.
Do you hate grandma? You know what a MAGA mask is, right?
I think so.
Make America great again?
Yeah, okay.
Trump's slogan?
Yeah, yeah.
The Trump everything,
yeah.
The red with the white, make America great.
Yes.
Now I know you're uninformed.
I am, but
wow.
Hey, it's for a reason.
It's all for the show. You pretend to be dumb just so I can feel smarter, and it elevates me, boosts my ego.
Always here for you.
Thanks, bud. Now, speaking of all those things, I did want to read a little bit of this one. This is from ACHS.org, so you know it's legit. Mandatory COVID shots. New York City requires vaccines and sticks its head in the sand. So it seems like these people will be more against it, which I would like to hear what they have to say. I don't know who they are. Don't care. Despite relatively high vaccine uptake, New York City is about to enact mandatory shots for all residents before they can visit indoor restaurants, gyms, blah, blah, blah. This is unhelpful at best and counterproductive at worst. Are you an adult capable of making informed decisions to protect your health? If you live in New York City, the answer is no. That's because New York City is all but requiring its residents to get a COVID-19 vaccine. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio mandated inoculations for a range of indoor venues at blah, 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 blah. So they're just talking about the thing that we just talked about, basically.
So, question.
Yes, sir.
What happens when the entire country has a mandatory vaccination where they have to get vaccinated? There's obviously some people like us that don't want that to happen. What is the end result of that? What do you think is going to happen? Like, what do you, if people are going to retaliate, are they going to fight back? Are they going to give in and be like, screw it?
Well, the thing is, you don't even have to lump in people like us, like crazy people, which, by the way, most people who are against the vaccine are black.
Yeah.
So one could, if you're using the logic of the left and how they call everything racist, like if you require a voter ID, that's racist, right? That's a thing that people said because they think black people aren't smart enough to get IDs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way that I can understand that making any sense, which seems pretty racist to me. But if you go down that kind of logic, you would think if most of the black community is saying we don't want these vaccines, and then you have a bunch of white honky-ass pieces of shit saying you absolutely have to take this or you're a monster, does that seem racist to you?
A little bit.
And you know who's the highest? Who has the highest likelihood of taking the vaccine? It's Asians.
Oh. Yeah.
Now, I'm not going down the conspiracy rabbit hole here, but if there's a feud between, and I can pontificate about this because it doesn't make any difference to me because I'm neither of these things, except I am black and the fact that I don't want the vaccine. If you know anything about the history of blacks and Asian conflict not being too friendly with each other, and you've got the Asians taking all the vaccines and the blacks not taking all the vaccines, and you've got Asians saying that you have the majority of people who are vaccinated saying that other people should not or should get vaccinated, which would be the black folks. You do the math yourself. You put it together. I'm not saying there's something there. I'm legitimately not saying there's something there because I don't believe that conspiracy theory at all. But just playing hypothetical crazy person today. That's all.
Do we know the percentage of the population that's vaccinated right now? Is there an updated number? We've hit the 70 at least %, I'm sure by now.
Well, 70 was Joe Biden's goal, or 75 or something. I don't remember. When we watched a Joe Biden thing and talked about it once, that was his goal. I don't know if we're there yet or not, but the problem is nobody trusts the people who are giving out the numbers for anything,
right?
And they have reason not to. So if they're saying it's way low, it might be way high. Maybe everybody's gotten it and it's just not working. Like these people are liars, and they've proven that over and over again over the last year and a half. So why would we believe them even on that data?
In all reality, if this is like the COVID's actually really bad and actually killing people, and this vaccine's actually not working, and they're just trying to show or kind of fake it, saying it is. If it's not actually working, how terrifying is that? Like, and it's something actually happening, and it's like, well, we don't know what to do.
To you guys who got the vaccine, let me know the answer to Travis's question. How terrifying is that when all the medical professionals are saying, actually blood clots, but don't talk about it. Actually this and that, but don't talk about it. And they're begging people, and they still can't get people to take it. And people are still getting sick. People are still dying. I don't know the numbers, and I don't think anybody knows the numbers at this point. But I am curious. If you got the vaccine, are you a little bit concerned?
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know at my my place of employment has changed some things, some guidelines where now if you're vaccinated or non-vaccinated, you have to wear a mask. There's no ifs and or buts about it.
So if you're vaccinated, you still have to wear a mask.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it just started a few days ago, and you literally have to wear a mask. And I know some people there are legit pissed. They're like...
They should legit ask, show me where it says anything that makes this make sense.
Right.
Show me. Do you remember, like, 2 years ago when the CDC was a trusted, credible, like, I don't know, medical field profession? I don't know what you call it. Organization. Like, we used to go, oh, the CDC said this, so we believe it. Now, there's still some people clinging on to that, but I feel like the vast majority of people are like, why would we believe anything the CDC says at this point?
Right. I mean, that's a good point.
Maybe I'm just hanging out with heathens that don't know anything, but I'm okay with that.
Fair.
You would be one of them.
I know.
All right. So, this comes from TotalProSports.com. Yay, I love sports, as you guys know.
Hey.
Go Sports. CDC paid NFL Alumni Association $3.5 million to promote getting the shot.
Where'd they get that money, by the way?
From you?
Yeah. Why? Gosh. You know what I don't understand? I know you don't follow sports, but this year they're making a big thing about, football season's about to start. Next Sunday we'll start having our games, preseason-wise. And they're pretty much all the stadiums are saying that you can go to the stadium unvaccinated and not requiring mask or anything. And there's like thousands of people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're promoting this, why would they not be following the guidelines that they're saying then? That makes no sense to me.
What do you mean? What guidelines?
Well, I mean, they're saying that mandatory vaccinations, and they're saying that you need to wear masks now. But now, if Sunday we'll start having our games, preseason-wise. What's happening?
Oh, what happened?
They're saying that you can go to this. What?
I accidentally opened the wrong thing. Okay. I was checking the stream, and apparently it switched over to the stream audio. So
that was odd.
We're professionals. Please, Joe Biden, still consider us for the influencer army of 2021. Thank you. I will be submitting my application post-haste. What were you saying, Travis? Like in real life?
Yes.
Not on that?
So basically, if they're putting this money into to advertise to get the shot, but like if you're going to a stadium to watch your team play and they're not mandatory doing vaccinations or wearing a mask, to me that just seems odd. Like they're just getting money. They're just giving them money for just to say something. Like, hey, get a shot.
Wait.
Is that making
so
sense?
There's no audiences. I'm sorry. I'm barely...
It's
Once
okay.
you say sports, my brain just goes to white noise.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's like Joe Biden at the end it's like Joe Biden's response when they ask him if he's ready for the Q&A. What? No, I'm not joking. You might think I'm joking, but I'm not because I keep saying it. So there's no audiences at sports.
No, there is this year now. They're not having any restrictions whatsoever. What I've read anyway. So, like for instance, I will be able to go to a stadium and watch a sports team play in front and next to thousands of people, and they're not. I believe that I could be wrong. I mean, I'm pretty sure what I read.
I could be wrong. I am just making this up as I go. But
hey, this
it fits my story.
It works out. If you don't have to wear a mask or be vaccinated, and you're going to be around thousands of people, just like Lollapalooza a few days ago. Did you see that picture of how many people were there?
No.
Oh my gosh, so many.
What did they do?
They stand and watch a concert play, but no one had masks. I'm sure not everyone was vaccinated.
I mean, they're all cheering weed. I'm sure. They're
I'm
passing
sure.
joints around.
Yes,
so who cares about a mask when you're passing joints around?
But I'm saying it's mind blowing to me that if all this stuff is like supposed to be, mandatory, but we're just doing it anyway. Why are companies like this paying that much money to say get the shot, but like to turn around just to do whatever? I don't get it.
Because they want money. Because they're a business.
Yeah, exactly. This is the whole
all
thing.
That
is
matters.
That.
all that the government is doing with your tax dollars at this point is buying ad space.
Yeah,
that's it. Like the NFL doesn't give a shit if you get the vaccine. No. The NFL just wants a little more money on top of their mountains and mountains of money. That's it.
This whole thing.
And you know why they're not requiring people to be vaccinated or wear masks to their events? It's because they want more money. Yeah. They don't care if you get the vaccine or if you get the COVID or if you die. They don't care.
No,
you paid to get in. And if there are some people that, I'm sure there's a lot, that would boycott because they don't want to wear a mask or because they don't want to get the vaccine, then that's money. That's all that matters.
Yes. I believe this whole thing is based on that, though.
Yeah.
It's all money. It's all power.
It is. I mean, for some people, it's more than money. It's definitely power, because you've got Twitter, their stocks are plummeting every time they every time they ban people for speech or for talking out against this type of stuff. Their stocks plummet, which leads me to believe that they are here for something that is more valuable than money, which is controlling everything.
Yes.
I might sound a little bit narcissistic of them, and you'd be correct. So, speaking of assholes, this comes from usatoday.com, so you know it's legit. Travis, have you heard of the band The Offspring?
Absolutely.
You know anything about what they've been doing? Don't read the title?
No.
Okay. Drummer Pete Parada dropped from The Offspring for refusing COVID-19 vaccine.
That's kind of crazy. So are they making all musicians and bands get the vaccine?
This band, The Offspring, if you've heard of them, the very punk rock anti-establishment band, kicked their drummer out of the band because he would not get the vaccine. They wouldn't even be in the same room with him to practice, I hear.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean, whoa, that's crazy. I mean, that's insane. That's insanity.
Same members for this band, too, for how many years, too?
I don't know. It's been probably longer than either of us have been alive.
Yeah.
Musician Pete Parada, and this goes to show you, like,
we need to get him on the
division. Yeah, we do. Pete, I know you're watching. Come on. This goes to show you, like, we're talking about, it's all just division. It's like making brother fight against brother. Like, it's like a soft civil war, basically. It's turning everybody against each other so that the elites can stay in power here. And we've even got, like, I mean, he's obviously not an elitist level status member, because so we've got these people who are basically brothers who have been for years and years and decades. And they're even brainwashed to the extent that they're like, we can't even be close to you. You can't practice with you. We can't play shows with you. You're not in the band anymore.
That's odd. I feel like something else is going on with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, you can just, practice 6 feet apart.
Oh, you mean they had ulterior motives? They just wanted an excuse to kick him out of the band?
It could be that.
I mean, drummers are assholes, so it is possible. Musician Pete Parada, drummer for The Offspring, announced Tuesday that he's been dropped from the American rock band over his failure to receive COVID-19 vaccine. And especially, like, it sounds like a corporate decision.
Yeah, that's another weird thing.
For
like maybe the label
a punk rock band.
Like, that's the only thing I could think of. Like, their label.
Why would the label care, though?
I don't know.
Just for appearances?
I mean, who cares about Offspring really anymore?
That's a great question. I've got some unfortunate and difficult news to share. Parada 48 wrote in. He's only 48?
Wow.
I guess that 50-ish. I guess that makes sense. They all seem like they would be old at this point, because they kind of look like old 50-year-olds. You know, like there's 50-year-olds and there's 80-year-olds. He wrote in a statement posted to Instagram, "Since I am unable to comply with what is increasingly becoming an industry mandate, it has recently been decided that I am unsafe to be around in the studio and on tour." Now, this answers your question earlier of what happens when they make it mandatory and a bunch of people just don't want it. It's not even, and I started to say this at the time, and then I got ADD distracted. It's not even about, the question isn't like, what about the crazy people like us that don't want to take the vaccine? This man went to his doctor, asked him if he should take the vaccine. The doctor said no, because of your pre-existing conditions, you should not be taking this because we're not sure yet of the side effects.
Yeah.
A doctor told him not to take the vaccine, and his band kicked him out. Also, he's had COVID.
Oh.
So he probably won't get COVID. If he did get COVID, it probably won't matter. He's probably not at any likelier chance of spreading COVID than the other guys, because apparently you can spread COVID if you're asymptomatic, if you're not feeling anything, if you've been vaccinated. It doesn't matter. The rules are made up and the points don't matter, man. It's like, like, I want to keep track. I want to have a board of the new thing, the new rule, and then like draw lines and arrows to all of I know that makes me sound like a legit conspiracy crazy person, but
it's
like
to prove a point.
On this date, Fauci said this. Here's where he contradicted it. Here's where he went back. Here's where he doubled it.
Sad.
Yeah, products.
Scary.
Parada explained that his doctor advised him against the vaccine because he's more susceptible to adverse side effects with Guillain-Barré syndrome. I don't know what that is, but whatever, which dates back to my childhood and has evolved to be progressively worse over my lifetime. So maybe, we don't really know what Joey Joridson died of. Maybe that is it. And I'm not joking, actually. They said he died in his sleep, and they didn't say from what. It might have been drugs, or it might have been he had an adverse reaction because of his pre-existing conditions. He might have gotten the vaccine and died. I'm not saying he did. He probably didn't.
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know.
Unless they tell us. We won't know.
Well,
or maybe he died of COVID because he was more susceptible to that. I don't know. But I don't even know why I brought that up right now, but who cares?
They didn't say how he died, though, right?
No, they just said he died in his sleep. That was the only statement his family has given the last I knew.
An autopsy report at all about him.
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, so that sucks. And, yeah, so it's not about whether or not you're crazy and don't want the vaccine. There are people that lots of people who medically should not be taking this vaccine. People who have had it already, there's not really any reason for them to take it. I would imagine antibodies work the way that they always have. Maybe not. Maybe this is some new crazy thing. But, and then there's people that will have a higher risk of dying if they take it, and they're being told that if they don't take it, they're a monster. You have to potentially sacrifice yourself to the narrative, or you will be destroyed. Is that too extreme?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If you don't go along with what they're saying and kill yourself, then you will die. Like those are your options. You potentially kill yourself with a vaccine that you might have complications with, or you are just dead to everyone. Travis.
Yes, sir.
You feeling good?
I'm feeling real good, man.
Yeah?
I'm ready for the future, that's for sure.
Are you?
Not at
because
all.
we kept saying it can't be any worse than 2019.
2020.
I can't wait till we get to 2020. So it's it's definitely not going to get any worse than 2020.
No.
So
we're on our way.
Yeah, we are. And we're going to wrap on this, and then we're going to maybe jump over and do some bonus. But before we get into the bonus, I, of course, have everyone's favorite segment ready to go. Travis, do you know what that is?
Is it Gates Watch?
This program was made possible by viewers like you.
Get what you f***ing deserve!
Your days are belong to us.
No one can stop us from enjoying this, so enjoy it! Stop crying!
This comes from our Freak of the Week submitter, which is Freak Danielle Brandenberger. Sorry, Paul, I just called your wife a freak. That might be weird. I know them personally, and they're related to Kayla. Anyway, dailymail.co.uk, so you know it's super legit, but also British, so probably not legit. That's amore. That's amore.
Yeah, you took it from me.
Go ahead.
That's amore.
Nah, it doesn't feel genuine anymore. Drunk Florida couple are covered in spaghetti after throwing their dinner at each other in bizarre 911 domestic. Now, anytime I see, and this has nothing to do with the article, but
okay.
When you see 911 written out, do you think 911?
Nope, 9/11. Instantly think of 9/11.
I can't not anymore. I don't know why. So for those that don't know, this is the segment where if you are in the forum which is still currently on Facebook, or if you send me an article anytime throughout the week and say that it's a Freak of the Week submission, I select one and we roast it here and talk about it because that's what we do. And so let's read a little bit of this.
Night. I know that sounded irrelevant, but
it's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's more irrelevant than 9/11 when it comes, unless you're comparing the veracity and severity of this incident to 9/11. It's like 0.001% as deadly as 9/11, I would imagine. A violent we should just rank all bad things compared to 9/11.
We should do that in September.
And if it's we'll just go through and give scores from 1 to 9/11, 9.11. A violent encounter involving plates of spaghetti resulted in the Clearwater, Florida couple being arrested on August 2nd. Stephanie Lund, is it still okay to be racist against Italians?
Have we ever been racist against Italians? I figure they'd just kill you if you did.
Well, at this point, if you say so, look, if I said, "Yo, what up, my homie?" like that would be considered bad and mean because you're speaking like a person who is not you.
Right. But
I mean, it's up to you to make that assumption. Like, was I speaking in black voice or was I not? You knew I was not.
Right.
And if you assumed I was, it's because you're a bigot. But yeah, it is funny that nobody cares at all about Italians or like people who are white passable. That's fine. Maybe I should slick my hair back and get a nice tan. I'm kidding. I only pinken.
I've tried.
Yeah. Do you just pink and burn too?
Red and white. That's it.
Yeah.
Red most of the summer and then white.
If you get punched, you're very patriotic. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. That's a good one.
You get it. Yeah, you get it. All right. So Stephanie Lanas, 45, and her boyfriend. Wait, that's a woman in that picture. That's unfortunate for her. On the left, I assume.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stephanie Lanas, 45, and her boyfriend.
Jeez.
I'm gonna say Adolfo, not Adolfo. Rivera or whatever. 35. Wow, he married down. 35-year-old dude marries that. Anyway, so he looks like I don't know. He looks like the type of guy who would be soliciting like cigarettes outside of a gym or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a car salesman.
He looks kind of Russian, to be honest, too.
Yeah, maybe that's why he seems like a car salesman. Because I bought one of my cars recently from a Russian. Oh, fun side story. We bought our car from a Russian guy, and he was like, he offered to, how can I say this without getting in literal trouble? He offered to break somebody's fingers, we'll say.
Oh.
That Kayla was complaining about, and he said, "I have people in that area.
Oh.
I won't kill him, or they won't kill him. He'll just have a couple broken fingers." Very heavy accent. He was very convincing. I'm not sure, but
is he like? Do you buy the car from a owner or dealership?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an owner, and we drove with him for a bit, and we learned some things.
It's nice to.
We learned some things.
I know. Honestly, I had an Uber ride one time with a Russian guy, and he kind of shared the same similar story with me in Chicago.
Now, I'm not saying that all Russians are hitmen, but every Russian I've ever met has been a hitman.
Yes.
And you would think it would be more likely for you to run into a Russian that's not a hitman than a Russian that is a hitman, unless they're all hitmen.
They're all of them. All of them are.
They're all.
It's a requirement in that country.
That's right. Just ask Donald Trump. Anyway, police were notified around 1 a.m. and found the couple still covered. Okay, I missed a paragraph. I got lost in her eyes. Alcohol-infused verbal confrontation quickly became violent, and plates of spaghetti were shoved in one another's face, according to the arrest affidavits. So both of them together shoved spaghetti in each other's face?
I don't know, man. I guess.
Pretty sweet.
I think they planned it.
That's about as Italian as a fucking fight can get.
It's like Lady the Tramp music in the background.
That's amore. Fuck you. Police were, give me the crack. Police were notified around 1 a.m. and found the couple still covered in spaghetti upon officers' arrival. They were arrested. They were then arrested on charges of domestic battery. Now, were they still fighting at the time? Because if they weren't still fighting at the time, they had kind of calmed down, but they're still covered in spaghetti, then they only did this for me to talk about it on this show.
Oh, of course.
They only did this very stereotypical Italian thing for me to make a joke about it, in which case I would be irresponsible to not make racist jokes about this.
To be honest, look at their mugshots. They're like smiling and smirking like, yeah, we got you, Dan.
Well, think about it. Like, if they like got into a scuffle and they ended up throwing spaghetti in each other's faces, and then like 45 minutes later the cops show up and they've still got spaghetti on their face, they wanted to get caught like that. They wanted me to make jokes about it. It's kind of like Jussie Smollett. You remember him?
No.
The guy who tried to say that some MAGA people tied him up in the dead of winter, put a noose around his neck, and wanted to pour bleach on him.
Yeah, I do.
The guy from that show, Empire.
Empire, yeah.
Yep. It's kind of like that, where... so you don't know anything about that story, really?
Very little. I remember hearing something about it, but again, I didn't go in.
Well, that was his allegation, that in the dead of winter at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning or something in Chicago, in like a blizzard outside of a Subway, some white dudes like came by, tied a noose around his neck. They had a chemical substance that seemed to be bleach, and they said, "This is MAGA country," and then they beat him up or something minimally and then left. He was paraded around as like this victim. This is where our country is going. It's a bunch of racist assholes, blah, blah, blah. And then he went on The View and all these different shows.
Of course. Yeah.
And they were like, man, that's such a heroic story. Come to find out, he not only made the entire thing up, which of course he did, because he was from Empire. And how many white guys do you know that have ever watched Empire?
Yeah.
None. Yeah. And they knew that he was gay, which what Trump supporter do you think is watching Empire and then paying attention to the orientation of some B-level actor in a B-level show?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, really.
But it was proven that he not only faked it, but he had two large, I think, what was it? Nigerian. Maybe Nigerian. I don't remember. Some ethnicity that is very, very black. Two of his friends did it to him to stage this so that he could get a bunch of attention and get a raise on his show.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you say that was a real diversion from this story, but I related it in some way. Oh, because he stayed there when the cops showed up like an hour later. He was still there with the noose around his neck.
What?
Just wanted to make sure you saw. Make sure you see. Like, I couldn't be holding it and show it to you. You have to see it's there. It's like, no, I'm not buying it.
Odd.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Do we need to read more of the spaghetti?
What was the end result of this story?
That's a good question.
Let's at least get to that part.
Well, they ended it with a nice breadstick. I don't know. I can't think of a Italian dessert. They followed it up with a nice red wine.
Tiramisu?
Maybe? Sure.
Let's do that.
Why not?
I don't know if that's Italian, actually. I think it's Spanish, Mexican.
I'm not going to say. It's better. It's better to stay quiet and not let people know you're stupid.
Just say cannoli. Those things are...
Yeah, sure.
Cannoli.
A cannoli.
Chocolate chip cannoli.
A crepe. Fuck it. Who cares?
Crepe.
They're all the same. The couple were brought to...
Is that an ad for spaghetti? Oh, no. Okay, never mind.
That's their Instagram. This was snapped right before the incident. Check out our awesome dish. And then shortly after, they got their... Yeah. The couple were brought to Pinellas County Jail and were then arrested the next day on their own recognizance. Let's see. Do we know what happened? A case for felony aggravated battery was dropped after it was discovered she had multiple narcotics possession charges on her rap sheet. Wait, if you've ever possessed drugs, then your case doesn't matter?
I don't know, I guess.
She's had drugs before, so this didn't happen. So much for believe all women, eh?
Yeah.
Lannis was arrested for stabbing Rivera in the arm. Oh, okay, so it was more than a plate of spaghetti.
Oh, wow.
We almost just ended this assuming that they threw spaghetti in each other's faces and went about their merry way. With a knife during a drunken fight early October 15th, 2020, according to... This is old news, bro. This is old news, dear submitter.
Wow. Almost a full year old.
Yeah, I guess it's... The article is new. So, the thing happened back in October, and we're still talking about it today. Let it go, people. Let the spaghetti plate incident go. All right. Travis, anything else you got on... that?
No.
Or just any general vaguely racist type stuff?
No, all I just had is spaghetti last night and it was very good. That's about all I got.
Isn't that cultural appropriation?
Yeah, it is actually. I would assume anyway. Another thing I could say, I know this is totally does not go with what we were talking about at all, but I just wanted to
That's fine. I'm pretty much out of stuff and we're going to wrap up here anyway. So anything else you have to talk about, go for it.
So, like, the other day, I got off work and I went to Walmart to buy groceries. Keep in mind, do you ever eat waffles, like frozen waffles, or do you make waffles?
What's a waffle?
You know, funny you say that. I have never had a waffle until maybe about maybe a year ago.
You've never had an Eggo?
Exactly. It's even better that you say that.
Okay.
So I've
I've
never
had waffles. Yes.
Eggo waffles.
Because I'm not a fucking communist.
I mean, I've seen the Eggo the box and people talk about it, but whenever I've had waffles, I buy like the generic brand, you know, Great Value, whatever.
Wait, I thought you had never tried them.
Well,
do you mean now?
Until about a year ago, and then I'm like, oh man, these are great. They're easy to make. Whatever, you pop them in the toaster, pop them up, put syrup, butter on, and you're good.
Yeah, it's like a pancake with holes.
Yes, it's exactly like that, except it does taste different. Anyway, I have never bought an Eggo or been experienced in the Eggo brand in my life. So I go to Walmart.
I've never heard anybody say bought an Eggo.
Oh, yeah, did today. Mark it down.
Noted.
I went into the frozen section, went to go look at the waffles, and I usually just grab the Great Value. It's all gone. All of them are gone. Sold out.
It's like toilet paper.
Yeah, it's insane. And then like all the breakfast stuff was very weird. But anyway, there was a box of 24 Eggo box brand waffles. So I bought it. I put it in my cart, went to the checkout, I bought it, and I got home. And I opened my phone, and it started going through Instagram. And there it was. The second thing I saw was an advertisement of an Eggo. Eggo.
An Eggo?
Yeah, dude, I was like, what? How? Like, how does that even trace? I wasn't even on my phone at the time.
Yeah.
And the phone was actually in my car. That's another weird thing.
You probably talked to yourself about Eggos on the way over, right? Probably like, going to get some
The
Eggos.
only
Here we go,
connection-
get some Eggos. Down to the store. Shit, they're out.
The only connection I can have is that it was linked to my card when I paid for it somehow. That's it. There's no other way.
Yeah, the targeted advertising thing, it's like I like to take my conspiracy tinfoil hat off every now and then and go, this is kind of convenient that they keep reminding me of the things I need to get. Yes. And that's how they get you. Yep. But the problem isn't that they're spying on you. Definitely 100% they are listening to you on your device. And even when your device is locked, it's still listening to you. Otherwise, you couldn't say hello or hey, Siri. Right. Hey, Siri. Did y'all get it? You couldn't say that or like, hey, Google.
Right.
Or hey, Alexa. And it wouldn't register that if it wasn't listening to you all the time.
Yeah, it's always on.
And if we're accepting that they listen to us all the time, which we have to in order for us to use that, which I don't actually use the Siri thing because I don't trust it. I know that it's still listening to me anyway, but if we don't trust that, the little bit of convenience to remember to buy waffles is not quite enough to convince me that this is a good thing, especially because, and this is the point that I was trying to get to, I buy, like, if I go and buy something on Amazon, like I do a bunch of research for like camera gear and video stuff.
Yes.
I'll do a bunch of research, then I'll finally find the thing that I want, and then I'll buy it. The next day, or right after, Facebook starts advertising to me the thing that I just bought.
Yes. Yep.
Like, who are you helping?
Yes. Yep. That's very true. That's happened to me many times.
Should I, every time I buy it, should I go, I'm done. I bought it. I bought the XR 277, so you don't need to put that on me anymore, okay? Like, I bought a new camera backpack. I don't remember which one it is, but it's the first time I've ever like dumped a bunch of money to have a legit camera backpack. If you don't do that type of thing. You don't know how much it matters, and it got me through PorkFest because it was amazing. But the exact same backpack and like one or two others that I had looked up, they start promoting to me on Facebook ads like nonstop.
Yep. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. It's like, if you're going to spy on me, at least get ahead of the game.
Yeah,
like, at
be
least
on the
prove
ball.
you're valuable, dear CIA. If you're going to do
Google.
my shopping for me and update my wish list for me, please.
If you ever have anybody send you an address and an email on Google, and you pull up your Google Maps, it'll automatically be there. That's useful.
Wait, like a driving address?
Yeah, so it's like, say, like, hey, shoot me your address real quick, man. I'm going to head to your studio. Okay. And then they just pull up the app, and it's just there.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. I'm not saying I approve, but that kind of makes sense because it's like something that you recently talked about in like a chat or something, and they're like, were you trying to get to that place that you just looked at, dummy? Because we can pull that up for you. You don't even have to open your text. There's value to that, and I'm not saying it's all conspiracy stuff, but we all just kind of went, this is our life now. When Nixon got kicked out of office for what? Wiretapping? Listening to people's conversations without,
Man,
without them approving it?
He would succeed in today's world real well.
Be a boss.
He would. Bring him back.
Nixon was the best president we've ever had. Let me just say that. He took us to the moon. That definitely happened. And then he invented wiretapping.
Good job, man.
Yeah, so I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I think we're going to do some... Do you have time for an after party, Travis?
Let's see. It's 12:50. Yeah, I got a few minutes. Let's do it.
A few minutes. You're really bad at convincing people to go get this. Yeah, I'll give you like 30 seconds. If you guys want to go join the Downers Club and hear what Travis has to say for 30 seconds before he leaves, then go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/the system is down. We're going to do some after party. Maybe we'll do it live in the Facebook Downers Club group.
Oh, that might be something.
Maybe not. I don't know. But Travis, tell everybody where they can find you and all the crazy bigoted things that you do.
Yes, I work with audio recording. I work with anybody from any different genre. I own a studio, so if you want to...
Any different color, you know.
I was going to say that, but I hold that back.
Mostly black. He works on hip-hop stuff, so...
Yes. Majority of it.
Mostly black.
Which is totally fine. I'm not hating. Anyway, yeah, if you want to hit me up, I have a few different websites you can go to. I have a Facebook for my own personal studio. It's facebook.com/engineer Travis Harms, or you can hit me up at charmmediagroup.com.
I like that you had to specify that it is okay if you're black. It's totally fine, guys.
Well, you never know. I want people to think that I don't like the certain color of people. So.
You want to say the N-word right now, don't you? That would make this joke land so much better.
Not at all.
Okay, sure. All right, guys. Everything we've said today is a joke. Go trust your government. And Joe Biden, please join, or please permit me, elect me, hire me, appoint me to join the influencer army of 2021. And I will serve Kamala Harris's reign, because that's definitely coming. And for everybody else, go join the Downers Club. That's where we're going to be talking here in a moment about some more things. We've got some more Freak of the Week submissions and some other stuff that we got to get to. So, to the rest of you schmucks that have not joined, go join. Otherwise, question everything, stay uncomfortable, and we'll talk to you next time. This has been fun. Back on the live stream. Please keep an eye out, because I'm not sure how regularly we will do this. I will be putting out some announcements here and there when we're going to do it. Oh, also, I'm going to be on, speaking of live streams, I'm going to be on Josh Smith's Break the Cycle show on Tuesday night. If you're in corn time here in Illinois or Iowa, like Josh is and I am, Central Time, I believe it is 7:30 Tuesday night. I'm going on with Josh, Dave Casey, who's the guy who replaces you every time you're out, Travis. Okay. Dave Casey's going to be there, conspiracy guy, and Ryan Dawson, who has been kicked off of every platform imaginable for being a little too raw, a little too real. You won't find him too much on YouTube, so I don't know. After we do this conversation in this episode about conspiracies and shit, I'm not sure where it will be posted. At least it'll be on Odyssey, because they don't care about that stuff. So Go subscribe on Odyssey. Tune into the live stream. Break the Cycle. I think his is youtube.com/Fight the Despots. And tune into that on Tuesday nights. That's enough. We're going to get out of here. All right. Like I said, question everything, stay uncomfortable, be bad, have fun, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.